I guess we'll just go, just in order of the stuff, pretty much.
Yeah, do whatever.
FOV settings. About time. That's pretty much all I gotta say about that.
About time, yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do something to fix Clown's motion when you get like gas on you because your screen goes warped. I'm surprised they didn't add something so it's less warped. Because that's also a big issue for like motion sickness and stuff like that.
Motion sickness aside, it's also just terrible and annoying. And I hate Clown. So they should just delete him.
Because they even added like a crosshair, like while while it's happening. So like I mean they probably need to fix that one way or another.
And it's like not
But
even a good crosshair. It just looks like
yeah, I know.
weird and large.
Considering that they actually got this out after 7 years, still better than nothing.
Better than never having it. I can actually run 4 perks and be able to see the game. And then of course they're like, since we're releasing a new chapter, let's make Shadowborn counter a perk idea that we had before this. Like, okay.
Yeah, the thing about that is, I don't know why DBD just keeps adding anything and everything about speed or hindered, like haste or hindered. I don't understand that at all. I really don't like it, but I'm sure other people are fine with it because they get variety, quote unquote variety. But yeah.
Alright, gen system update. I'm completely fine with this. I don't really care about it. It's like, you're only gonna hit this 8 regression events if you're playing Skull Merchant or Knight.
Or Larry.
And then I like that, like, dry kicking a gen is actually kind of useful with the 5%, and then you can't just
I like the 5% change. That was so needed.
Yeah, and then you can't just like tap a gen for 14 microseconds to stop it from regressing. That's pretty strong and correct. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, it could have been still at 200% and then had this deactivation condition, but like, sure, it's kind of like salt in the wound, but I don't really think that it deactivating when somebody died was a big deal, because if somebody was dead, you already kind of won the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it would be fine to have that condition and have it be 200% or even like 150. So 100% is just so ass. There's just no reason to ever run it.
I feel maybe like, yeah, they just need to increase the regression like just a tad, and that perk is fine.
That's about it. Alan Wake. I knew absolutely nothing about this guy before he came to the game, and I still don't know anything about him besides like he writes things.
I think I saw Markiplier play like a game of Alan Wake, but then like after that, nothing.
His perks are kind of just like Champion of Light, just as like, I had a couple of games against it, and it's just, if you're an M1 killer, you just get shit on so hard because they just blind you at a pallet, and it's like, have fun.
You're not getting fun enjoyment out of that. I should say, not just fun. You won't get enjoyment out of that period.
Yeah, if you're like a 115, and then they blind you at a pallet, you're just moving 92% for at least 4 seconds after the kick. It's really cool and awesome.
Fair and
just moving nurse speed, like, oh my god. It's just kind of annoying. That's all this perk is, really. The 50% waste when you're shining doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, just make more people look like hackers. Thanks, behavior. Really love that.
Illumination, it's pretty cool. I'm a fan. It's alright.
The boon that shows all the gens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
And then Deadline, it's just kind of a niche perk that only works with like hyper-focused stakeout build. Otherwise, it's kind of just balls.
I just wonder how it would work with Doctor, though. Because the skill checks would be random. Would they just be more random? Or like, how would that work?
I don't know. Knowing behavior, they probably just took the code from Doctor and put it on Deadline to make the skill checks random.
I'm gonna be, yeah, you actually might be right about that. Cheer up in madness. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Now on to the things we actually care about. The Hillbilly. You know, the last thing I expected them to do was give him Ultra Instinct mode. Like, I didn't even think they were going to get rid of overheat. I thought there would just be, like, quality of life changes, but they're like, nah, we're making this motherfucker cracked out of his mind. We're giving him...
Yeah. The clip I posted on Twitter that went viral, I don't even know why it did. Like, that was with the Eerie Gravings or whatever they're called now. I was
Mhm.
with Eerie Gravings and then just like the overcharge. And I was just wild. I can't believe that even happened. I love
Yeah.
it though.
When he's in his overdrive, it's 13 meters a second, and then you got 20% from Doom engraving, so he's moving 15.6, and I think demo shreds are like 18 meters a second or something. So you
Wait,
basically just have a
faster than
demo
demo?
shred across the map. No, it's not faster, it's just like,
About the same.
it's getting there. So if you're like trying to cut them off from something, they're pretty much dead if you're aiming at them right. The fact that they gave him like almost death engravings base kit is correct.
I like how they combined the engraving so it made it an Eerie, if I'm not mistaken. That was a pretty nice. I like that. That was pretty nice.
So normally you can't get up to double engraving speed anymore because death was 15 and doom is 20, and it's still 20, but you don't have death anymore. And the base speed was increased by 10%, and
Oh, okay.
so it's not quite
It
double,
was
but
just
it's
like a tiny nerf, but like considering what you got instead, I think it was worth it.
yeah, because you have almost double engravings for only the doom charge time penalty, which is cool. And then of course you have overdrive, which makes you a Sonic the Hedgehog, and hit cooldown that's all right. The miss cooldown was like huge. I think this is one of the
Yeah,
craziest things.
it was like playing Xeno, like when you miss, how you still move forward. It felt like that, and it was really weird. Um, but like even on, I think they need to tune it. In my opinion, they need to tune it so it's more down in overcharge. Because like even if you miss, you still get a hit. Like even if it's an M1, you're still gonna get a hit,
Yeah, I
no
never
matter what.
read this patch note right here. They increased the movement speed during the chainsaw miss cooldown to 2.3 meters a second, and it was
Yep.
1.38. That is gigantic. And honestly, like, if they tune this down like a tiny bit, I wouldn't be that mad. Or if they
I
just
feel like
like,
it would.
yeah, I wouldn't mind if it was like, even if maybe just like during overdrive, if that was like slightly longer miss cooldown or slightly slower, it would be fine. But if they keep it that way, it'll probably still be fine. He'll just be like pretty oppressive. But that's honestly justice, so it's all good.
Considering how long it's been. Yeah.
It's been like the most dog ass killer for 3 years in a row. Now he's getting what he deserves. The decreased size of the collision, that was like incredibly noticeable and really satisfying. There's like score events for that, I think. I
I
didn't
saw
ever see what it
they
was.
gave score events for it, and I was like, "Well, that's pretty cool." Acknowledging your text in the game, it's crazy.
And disconnecting the chainsaw sensitivity from controller sensitivity, that's real.
I found that weird. I don't know why they would do that. In my opinion,
Oh, during overdrives, the cooldowns are reduced by 10%. I didn't even know that. I don't think I ever read that. The cooldowns were
what change?
reduced.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah. They could probably do without that and it would be fine. But
Yeah, some things shouldn't be done, and then some things need to be a little bit tweaked. But even if they don't, it's not the end of the world. It's like,
yeah. I like all of his new add-ons except for counterweight is just kind of like, it's kind of like the meme, like just using your chainsaw for mobility and M1ing everybody no matter what. It's just like, why would you give somebody an add-on to do that? I guess it's for if anybody has a Hillbilly daily and they never play killer, I guess.
there's not even a blood point bonus on it, right?
No, that's on speed limiter.
It should be on that. I'm gonna
Or
be real.
cracked primer bulb. I don't know why they didn't just keep it speed limiter. I'm gonna miss speed limiter. At least Bubba still has it, but they can't get rid of speed limiter. Yeah, all of his add-ons are pretty swag and strong. Yeah, just a whole bunch of overdrive add-ons. I don't think
The people who did the effects for Billy were really good. They did a really good job for the blue flames and stuff. That's
It just looks like blue Super Saiyan. It's kind of strong. I was a little surprised they went with blue because like I feel like they could have gotten away with like red or orange or whatever, but I like blues. It's still cool. Yeah, iridescent brick seemed like a weird add-on for his stealth add-on. Why would it be a brick? They made it slippers, which makes more sense. Oh yeah, and then they make spiked boots. They put it up by 1% because I guess I didn't like that it was 1 off of 45. And they removed the penalty because why was that a thing? I have no idea. There's like, yeah, curved score events here. The main thing I was like worried about, the main thing I worry about anyways when they make killers stronger is like, I hope that they keep the skill expression and like make it so they're not like really easy to play. And I don't think it made Billy easier to play. It just made it more enjoyable, which I like a lot.
yeah. A lot of the old players are going to come back that played Billy, and I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, and
See what they
the
come up with.
overdrive curves adds a new learning curve, pun sort of intended, because it's just like a different
Feel kind of thing.
yeah. I just imagine like the normal curve path, and I just like scale it up in my head. It's kind of like what I try
I
to
was
think
watching
of.
Helios trying to play Billy, and it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, you just go flying. Kind of hard to control, but I like that he's still hard to play, and he's got something new to learn. And I'm going to probably end up becoming a Billy main when this goes live.
Of course
Hopefully
you
they
will.
don't ruin it, but this is such a W mid chapter that I don't think they're gonna ruin it. Fingers crossed. Um, Onryō update. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care.
Honestly, I did like 1v1 Onryo, like I was playing Onryo, and I did the two invisible add-ons, right? I think it was newspaper and watch, and I did not feel a difference. I bet like Onryo mains are gonna be like, "Oh my god, this is best change ever," but I didn't see it. I do like the locking mechanic though. That's interesting. I wonder if they're gonna keep that or like how it's gonna work. It just makes her way more oppressive than she already was. But at the same time, then she's going to be more quote unquote boring for players because she's just harder to verse.
I think it's really goofy that she can get bloodlust while demanifested. It's,
Yeah, I don't like that change. Same with what's it called? Same with Dredge. If he doesn't teleport but he places down his remnant, he still keeps his bloodlust. Um, but Demo, if he taps his shred, he loses it all. Makes sense. Great
like
game.
immediately, doesn't even have to fully charge it.
Yep.
That's funny as hell. I like that they made the newspaper add-on a base kit. That's about all I care about. Because that was the only thing I really cared about when I played Sadako, was the invisibility mind
Mind
games or whatever.
Yeah.
That was real. But otherwise, I'm not one pump Willy, so I'm not going to look into this too much. The Blight.
Here we go.
I don't like that speed has been annihilated so hard. Like,
I played with double speed for a bit, like the nerf version, and it felt fine. Like I could get used to that. It's not the end of the world. I wish they made Crow 4% though. That would have been better, in my opinion.
what I would want if they're going to keep 2 and 3%, I would want it to be one add-on, just be 5%, and then make Blighted Rat do something else.
That could also work, yeah.
Because, like, if you want to run speed, you have to run both, or it's just, like, really bad.
Yeah, and Rat's useless by itself now, so
Yeah, like, 2%, what the hell is that going to do? Like, normally 230, then... On his last rush, it's going to be from 230 to 248. Wow, that's such a crazy difference. It's cracked. It's, like, barely
but
noticeable.
we should talk about the eerie changes though. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're just going down the
Uh,
list. But yeah, all I think I have to say about speed is like I wish it was one add-on, or they can make it like 3 and 4 or something. I think I'll be fine. But
yeah, three and four are fun, but like
yeah,
it's just hard because behavior's not going to do that. Should have just watched Not Bread's video. Well,
For Adrenaline Vial, I'm glad that they just made it so like you don't get a cracked charge or recharge time, and that's all they did. It's still the same
Didn't they
add-on.
take away the speed as well, or no?
Oh yeah, they took away the speed and the recharge, which perfect change, honestly. 10 out of 10. I don't have much to say
Yeah.
about that. That's
It's
cool.
still a bit oppressive if the Blight knows how to play, but besides that, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's all good. Alchemist Ring. I like new Alchemist Ring a lot. I think it's pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's my favorite add-on this PTB.
Yeah.
Like not even the Eries, because that if you just run Crow with that, it's basically old speed for distance, anyways.
I think I noticed while I was playing, like on my first rush, I noticed it was like, it might have been actually 20% longer, because if you take 3 seconds times 1.2, it's 3.6, and I noticed my rushes were like just a tiny bit like longer, and I had this weird period at the end where I was moving super slow, so I think it's actually like affects the first rush, and then
It does.
yeah.
I mean, same with speed though. It does because it's. I don't think it's like because it says consecutive, but technically, I guess they count the first rush
Yeah,
as.
that might be a bug, but I don't know. If it's not, then I think his last rush is like 7.5 seconds, which is really funny.
Yeah. Before we move on to the Eerie add-ons, I do want to say I wish they touched Compound 21. I don't know why they didn't. That was a big. That was a big like whoopsie doo that they did.
Yeah, I kind of didn't even realize. I was like, oh, that's weird. I don't know why they wouldn't touch Compound 21, but I guess
No
it's the
one
pick rate because nobody
uses
really.
it
Yeah,
as much as like it should be used. Like it's one of his best add-ons in my opinion. Like especially now since the changes, it's going to be one of his best.
yeah. Then if you have Adrenaline Vial with Alkring, it's 10 3/4 of a second long rush. That's really funny. It's really goofy. Quite silly. Compound 33. I'm a fan. Honestly, I don't.
I like it, but they need to tone it down just like a bit.
I don't think they. If I'm gonna be honest, I think since we're talking about Blight Tag next, I think like Compound 33 by itself, like before it was obviously strong and like really boring and just delete every pallet from the match simulator, but now it's like strong, but it's actually just kind of fun because you can just run around an entire tile. That's kind of goofy.
There's no downside. That's the issue that I have with it. Like everything is fine, like how they changed it. There's just no downside like other Eries have. Like even the Eerie tag, it's a 20-second cooldown if you get a hit, right? It at least has a downside, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this one doesn't for some reason. I don't know why. Like maybe a speed downside or like I don't know, just something.
I really
It
don't
needs it.
think it needs one, if I'm being honest. Like, since it was bugged with Blight Tag and made it so it just kept stacking forever, obviously it was like really stupid, but the problem was that you had infinite rushes and it was also bugged to stack infinitely. It's
Yeah,
not,
that was probably the most fun I've had in DBD in a while.
yeah. If you're just on your 5th rush with like Compound 33, if you're not running Blight Tag, it's like, it's a pretty good turn rate, but it's like, it's not like you're just running around the tile freely. You can't do that.
I tested it with Elk Ring, and you on Shack you can, or actually just on a Hug Tech, you can double back. I think 8. I think I got 8 times. Um, it was really silly. Like win the 50-50, please.
Yeah.
Just try.
For my own sake, I hope that C33 and Alkring go live the way they are, because I think they're still good, but they're not incredibly boring. I think they're really funny. So I want to run that
Oh yeah,
combo.
definitely.
But Blight Tag,
Yeah.
that needs to, regardless of how bad it is, like, you can make the cooldown for this 20, like, you can make it like 200 seconds. Like, as soon as your power's off cooldown, you're guaranteed to hit somebody. Like, because you can just rush infinitely. I don't think infinite rushes is ever possibly a good idea. Because, like, you can make it as punishing as you want. Maybe it's not good, but it's like, it's just a really bad designed add-on. Like, I think I would be fine if they went live with all the Blight changes as they are, but just like reworked Blight Tag. Because just infinite rushes is
Infinite
not
rushes
okay.
is not good. Yeah, that
It's
is
just not a
good.
healthy add-on. That's the problem.
They also made it so it's only on a hit, like not even if you get stunned or like you fatigue or anything. It's like it has to be on a hit for that 20-second cooldown to apply, which is already a big mistake.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a little bit upset that people think Compound 33 is busted because like it is pretty good.
Because they were just seeing the clips with the Eerie tag. That's the only reason why they thought it was busted.
Yeah. It was just not working as intended. Like you're just stacking it infinitely and running around a tile 18 times in one rush. Like I'm sure I'm gonna like put some clips on screen in post editing, but like there's I have like a ton of clips of me just running around entire tiles.
Yeah, your Macmillan clip, that was pretty funny.
Versus
Going around the
Momo.
quad pillar or whatever.
I was thinking about versus Momo on the Ormond long while I went around the whole thing in one rush, like from the pallet all the way around to the other side of it. It's so stupid. It's really funny. It was really fun to use while it was a thing. And I will miss it dearly, but if it goes live then that's kind of concerning. I don't think it will though because it's bugged.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
But yeah. Main thing about Blight, rework Blight tag, maybe make speed 1 add-on, and then he's perfect. I think that's a great, fantastic way to go about it.
It could work. They need to test it though, like obviously first, just to see, because their coding can be jank sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, not sometimes, a lot of the time.
Perk updates, I'm not sure if I really care about them that much, but Quick Gambit.
The important one here.
Quick Gambit is still just ass. That's whatever.
It's not going to be used. Like it's at least better now. Like they acknowledge that it needs to be changed, but
I think the change is fine. Just aside from the fact that like you could just be the obsession and have plot twister for the people and just delete stacks. It's kind of stupid. But
apparently it was bugged on the PTB or something. Like Odds was testing it, and it wasn't working as intended.
As it goes in the public test build, typically.
True.
But I don't know. I don't really care about Stibiffle. I don't think it's overpowered. I don't think it's like...
It's just on some killers, it was just stupid. Like, it shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah. I don't think, like... I don't know. I feel like the outrage against Stibiffle is a little exaggerated. I don't think it's the most egregious perk in the world, but I think making it so if you hit the obsession, regardless if it's an M1 or not, you should lose stacks.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't really care because I don't use Stibiffle, but obviously if I did, I don't know. I think this change is fine.
Grim Embrace, that one I actually got excited for because I've always wanted to use that perk in a build, but there's just better perks in it. It's still a good perk. It's just there's better ones, but that change actually makes it seem pretty useful.
Yeah, when I was running it, it was kind of just it's like really gross.
If you watch the pub players versus comp killers or whatever that happens, when they were playing Nurse without any restrictions, but like they could Kobe off the hook because of the new anti-camp, the Nurse was using the blink back add-on, right?
Yeah.
So what you could do with this perk, get a hook, blink out, and then blink back to the hook, so all gens would be block, right? And then with, I would say, because you have to repair 5% of a gen before it can not regress. If you pair that with what's it called, pain res, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think when I was using Grim Embrace in pubs, since it's like kind of a mini barbecue as well, because you can see the obsession, I would just like hook somebody, leave because I had infinite rushes, and then I would hit the obsession inevitably because I saw their aura. I would just rush straight to them and then just like gun them down, and then hook them, find the I don't know, find somebody else. But you could run like furtive chase or something, so it keeps switching the obsession. So it could just like keep
and then run Chucky's perk to make them one hit.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
It was quite goofy. You could also just run barbecue with it and then infinite rush Blight and just make sure like every gen on the map is blocked the whole game, so you just can't do anything. I think it is a little bit crazy, but we'll see how it goes, I suppose. I feel like on S tier killers, it's kind of really dumb.
It's going to be better on certain killers than others, definitely, but like...
Yeah, it's always Nurse and Blight making perks that would otherwise just be good into like busted perks. It's always them too.
Fair and balanced.
Yeah, I think if they get rid of infinite rushes and since they're nerfing speed and adrenaline vial and all of his incredibly dumb add-ons, I think they can actually start being good perks and stuff. That'll be cool and awesome. Yeah, I think pretty solid change. I like it. And then Ormond, I don't know why they changed this at all, because like when I was playing on Ormond in the PTB, it didn't feel different at all besides like some different tiles. And it's like...
Yeah, they could have changed any other map that needed it, like Swamp, for example. But they decided to change Ormond for the third time. Yippee.
It's just such a strange decision. I mean, this is like, it's still like a 10 out of 10 chapter. But like, questionable, I guess, that they would do anything to Ormond. I don't know. I thought they said they changed like the terrible picnic table loops, but like they just kept them but added like a larger snow pile or something.
Exactly. They didn't even change the collision on them either, which is funny. Like that was the main concern because it was bad for like movement characters.
Yeah. And there's just bug fixes and such, and then they buffed bots. More bug fixes and such, and then the night remains disabled. I don't know if it's here. I don't think it's here, but there was a mention about a new game mode, which...
Yeah, the lights out. It wasn't a game mode. It was a map. Oh shit! What is it called? It just affects the map. It's not a game mode.
Nightfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not even a map effect.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just going to be hide and seek game mode, which is precisely not why I play this game, so I don't know if I'm going to bother with it at all. But
it's just because people are complaining that there's not enough game modes on base DBD, but there's a mobile. But I'm like, I don't think base DBD needs more game modes. They needed like fix custom games first, like the spectator shit. And then you can add the game modes in there. Like you could test game modes in the live game on custom, right? If you fix everything.
Yeah, if they gave custom games a bunch of options, it would be incredible W. But yeah, otherwise, that about covers this. Main highlights: the Hillbilly is now cool and awesome and swag, and he cannot be stopped.
Funny killer.
The main thing I would like to see out of this is that Blight tag just gets an entirely new function. Nothing else about Blight gets changed except maybe they make speed 1 add-on and then change Blight to
21.
They
didn't push 21.
I feel like without speed it's not going to be a huge deal. Or without like, I don't know, crazy amount. Or like, I don't know. I feel like it would be okay, but maybe they'll change it in the future. Truly. And if they change Billy at all, the only thing I would want is just like remove chainsaw cooldown reduction during overdrive, because it seems like a bit much. Feels like it's short enough already, so that's about it for that. And then I know Thompson's mix is bugged to work after misses. It's just supposed to be hits. So in the PTB it was pretty disgusting, but hopefully they fix that. Yeah, I think all of his add-ons are pretty cool. Yeah, Billy is swag and Blight is pretty swag now. Eerie tag,
He always was,
delete
but
that
he's
shit.
just more funny.
Go back to the drawing board with this add-on, please. Literally, you could keep it the insta-down add-on like anything but infinite rushes. That is just like... I find it really funny that we were like, you need to tone down Blight add-ons because Adrenaline Vial, you have a really oppressive power. No, it's just literally Adrenaline Vial because like you have extra rushes and it's like really oppressive and then has a super short cooldown. And they're like, okay, we fixed that. And we're like, yay. And then go to Blight tag. More rushes, in fact, infinite, and there's no cooldown if you whiff. Like, what the fuck did you just... Like,
No games.
the entire problem with Adrenaline Vials that you had
Game.
a bunch of rushes that you could break a pallet and you have your power back instantly. And you could do the same exact thing with Eerie Blight tag, but even worse. Like, what in the actual...
It's an Eerie. It's supposed to be strong. Because they're rare, right? That's why. Not like I have 400 in stock with like 500 black words. Like, if they don't change it, I'm gonna be running that shit in pubs.
I think I have
33.
887 Blight tags as it stands
Oh.
right now, and then like 400 black wards. Yeah, I will be abusing it if it goes live. So that's your... I'll be tormenting pubs with this combo if you don't delete Blight tag.
Tormentor. Yeah, just get the rates up, please.
Yeah.
If it again. I was told by a little bird that that Blight was gonna get nurse treatment. This is not nurse treatment. This is nowhere close to nurse treatment.
It's mainly because of Eerie tag, honestly. I think his other stuff is fine, to be completely honest.
This was a good W for behavior. Like, they did a pretty good job.
I think in all my years of playing this game, this is like the best patch notes I've ever seen for a chapter. Like, incredibly fire.
I just hate that they just keep adding speed perks or hindered perks. That's I've been going on about this. That's my rant, but like still, it needs to be changed. They need to get more ideas for perks. Like every single update now, it's just been a hindered or haste perk.
Especially when you can't really tell if they have it or not. You just gotta like have game sense.
Yep.
Makes it not very beginner friendly. But
let me go through my 20 perks that have it on my notebook on the side of my monitor just to see which one he's running. Yep.
Yeah, you have a whole ass list. Know what they're running. Yeah. Last thing I'm gonna say is like the problem with Blight tag, people were defending it because it has a 20-second cooldown. It's like, it's fine if it has a 20, or if it's fine you have infinite rushes because you have a 20-second cooldown, and then you're an M1 killer for 20 seconds, and it's like, if you used all of his...
10 more seconds than base kick.
Yeah, it's 10 more seconds than base kit, and 2 more seconds than Chucky, no matter what. If he even whiffs, and he can't use it infinitely. Like, he doesn't have infinite map traversal. Yeah, the problem is like 2 seconds longer than Chucky of a cooldown. And it's not like every rush chain you use is going to be you're on them and then you start rushing and you hit them with like 4 rushes and it's 20-second cooldown. It's like you're going to spawn in, use 25 rushes and get a hit, and then you're on a 20-second cooldown, which isn't a big deal, and then they go down because you have infinite rushes when they come back. And then you bring them to the hook, and it takes about maybe a little bit more than 20 seconds, and then you can just rush across the map infinitely again until you hit somebody. And it's just like, the cooldown is not, it's really not that long. Like 20 seconds is not that long. And if they made it 30, like they can make it 2 minutes, but like still a badly designed add-on.
Infinite.
The problem is still there, they're just making it weaker, and that's not very smart. Not user-friendly, like, I think this is the most user-friendly add-on we've had of all time. You just infinitely rush, I think that's pretty user-friendly.
Just not smart survivors. Really.
Yeah, it's just unhealthy. Like, something can be bad, but unhealthy. Regardless of this add-on is good or bad, it's unhealthy, so...
Yep.
Delete this shit, and we got a W chapter. Overall.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining me, Code DBD.
Thank you, Numinos.
Do you have anything to plug?
No.
Splendid.